Welcome to the Trend Talk. Today we have a very special guest co-host. Her name is Aida Rodriguez. She's a comedian. And also we have legendary actor Edward James Olmos, who has a new film role and a new TV role.
That's right. We also have the Latino cyber guy who's going to tell us all that's trending in tech. Plus we have philanthropist, activist, bully buster, wrestler, Keta Meggett, who's going to show us some woohoo self-defense moves.
Also, producer, actress Alitzah Wiener, she talks to us about her organization that helps young performers in Hollywood. And my one-on-one with Jimmy Smids. All that and much more in today's episode of The Trend Talk.
Ay, Dios mío, I love mi cafecito. I cannot survive without it. I have it in my car. I literally have jugs.
You sound like the scene from Mi Familia when the father goes, I love my cafecito.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say that scene where she goes, I'll have what she's having.
No, that's a different movie.
That's a different kind of high than the caffeine high.
But what did you say?
Well, I was telling you before we started shooting today that I put coconut oil in my coffee. I absolutely love it. It's a great substitute for creamer because it doesn't have all that sugar that creamer has.
But it has oil. Does it?
It
get
has
in your
oil,
coffee?
but it
doesn't. You don't taste the oil.
You don't taste the oil, but you do have that coconutty taste. And also, oil, it has a little bit of fat, but it's the good kind of fat. So it like boosts your metabolism, it gives you energy, and it keeps you a lot fuller throughout the day.
What's the good kind of fat? Because I want a lot of that.
Avocado. The good kind of fat is avocado.
Okay.
Coconut oil, nuts like almonds, cashews.
Not
walnuts.
chicharrones.
No, that's the bad kind of fat. Not chicharrones or lard or anything that's like blatant fat.
But lard tastes so good.
Manteca. No?
Yeah, manteca. That's what they used to put in the beans, and they used to put in all of the Mexican dishes before.
I have a manteca story.
Okay.
I lived in Mexico for 3 years when I was little. I was born here in Santa Monica. We moved to Mexico. Guess what my dad did for a living in Mexico?
Kill pigs.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, he didn't physically kill them. He basically had pigs. We had a little farm, and they would kill the pigs in my backyard and then sell the lard. So I would see them selling lard as if it was ice cream, like literally scooping the lard. But now it's healthier. It's healthier than all those because
Are you kidding?
Lard, because it comes from a natural source as opposed to like all this artificial kind of like corn oil and weird kinds of oils.
I've seen people get a piece of bread and get lard and do this to their bread.
Oh my God, no, that's exagerando. I mean, no, I like my lard, but not like that. Not in my peanut butter and jelly
Okay,
sandwiches.
but I know that you drink lots of coffee.
Yes, and I drink it because it's the only kind of high I can get. I mean, I don't do anything else but
You
drink
never
coffee.
did anything else.
Like I said, as of now, coffee is my only form of getting high. But you know what? I'm getting really high on energy because someone who has a lot of energy is our guest co-host, comedian Aida Rodriguez. She says it like it is. No tiene pelos en la lengua, and that's why I love her. And let's take a look at some of her work.
I don't like Beyonce. Can I say that without people getting mad at me? I think she became famous when she sang that song, Single Ladies, Clap Your Hands. That's when she really got famous, because there are so many single ladies. And if all the single ladies clapped their hands, the earth would cave in. An epidemic. You know what I mean? And I hate her. So when she fell, I TiVo'd it. And I watched her fall over and over again. I think she's always like picking fun at us. Like when she says single ladies, is she making fun of us and throwing her ugly husband in our faces? When I say Jay-Z is ugly, people get confused. You don't know the difference between rich and cute? He looks like Rudy from Fat Albert. He's ugly. Yeah. If he worked at the grocery store and said paper or plastic, you'd be like, nothing, you ugly mug, don't touch my corn.
Wow, I really love Aida's biting comedy, and she goes there. She's not afraid to take on very strong topics, lipstick lesbians, bullying, being a single mom, even saying that hey, maybe she doesn't like Beyonce like the rest of the world seems to. And well, she's here right now, so I really want to give a shout out and thank you so much, Aida Rodriguez, for being our guest co-host.
Oh, thank you for having me. I like it here. I'm enjoying the sunlight and being back in LA. I was in New York and it was cold, so I'm glad to be back in the warmth.
Right.
So tell us how you got started. I've seen some of your videos. You're hilarious.
Oh, thank
and
you.
biting. Very
Yes.
biting, okay?
Yes.
You,
I like that word.
Yes.
That's what a comedian should be, right?
Yeah.
Biting.
But how did you get started in comedy? Stand up.
Well, I started stand-up about 9 years ago, and it was Jamie Foxx. I was working on his radio show. I used to be on the Foxhole with them, and that their whole camp was like, we're doing a comedy show, and we know you want to do stand-up, because I always wanted to be a stand-up comedian since I was little, and they were like, here's your chance. We're going to put you on a show. And so they flew me to Arizona and put me in a theater, and I did this really big show. I only did 5 minutes. Those 5 minutes felt like an eternity, but I never stopped. Ever since that day, I was hooked, and I've always wanted to do it.
And how do you pick the topics? Because like I said, you pick some really interesting and strong topics.
Well, I think that you would know, being a Latina
Yep.
in a Latin family, the comedy just writes itself. You don't really have
My
to go
family
looking
was
for
pretty dull, but you know, I know a lot of them are.
Oh, she's showing off. Such show off with a normal family. How dare you? So it just wrote itself. You know, my mom is Puerto Rican, my father's Dominican, my stepfather's Cuban.
Woo! All the Caribbean.
The Spanish-speaking Caribbean, I represent all of them. And the comedy just wrote itself, but it's something that I always wanted to do. I was exposed to comedy when I was really young, listening to Álvarez Gede when I was little, who's a Cuban comedian, and I idolized him. And I always wanted to do it. My mom thought it was something that was masculine, so I eventually evolved and got to the point where I said, forget it, I want to do it, and that's what I'm going to do, and I started doing it.
Do you think touring is harder for women? Because you're a mom, you are a single mom, and you have to go out to so many different cities as a woman. Is it a little harder, or is it just the perception that it's harder?
No, it's definitely harder. Men don't have to worry about getting raped on the road. It's not a reality for a man. The safety and the issues, the pay is less. All the things that you hear about are true. That it's not some made-up thing that people say, well, there's Amy Schumer. There are thousands of other female comedians that don't make as much money as Amy Schumer. And if you put Amy Schumer next to the male comics who are doing what she's doing, she doesn't make as much money as they do either. So Kevin Hart is far more compensated than Amy Schumer is. And I'm not saying that Amy Schumer and Kevin Hart are doing the same things, but what I am saying is that women do not get compensated as much as men in comedy, just as in everything else. So it's not like anything
I have a
else.
question. You have a daughter, and you do comedy, and your daughter is in it. How does she like that?
She actually, both of my kids sit down with me, and I ask for their approval before I take the jokes on the stage that have to do with them. I don't ask my mother's permission because I owe it back to her. But my kids, I'm very sensitive to them, and they're older now, but when they were younger, we talked about it, and they actually helped me write the jokes. She would write jokes about her brother. He would write jokes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, girls, this is a trending topics show. So this is our segment where we talk about trends and we rate them. And Aaliyah is going to come and she's going to give us our signs that we rate with. It's either a trendejo if it's a bad thing, or it's trendissimo if we like it. Okay? So Naiva has one that she's going to tell us about.
Okay, so I recently read an article where some restaurants are starting to eliminate tipping. What do you guys think? We asked the question on Facebook.
It was on CBS News, right?
Right, it was on CBS News and some other outlets. We put it on Facebook. Our follower, Veronica Van Marque, who's Mexican but lives in France, said, in France, the tip is already included in the total bill, so you don't really have to tip, which is 11%, but the waiter doesn't get it all. It's evenly distributed amongst, the cooks and the people and the dishwashers.
They do that now. I mean, when you go to a restaurant, a waitress has to tip out, they call it, to the servers and all that. But I think that the waitresses and the servers don't get enough money. Why would they want to get rid of the tips? That's a little spending cash that they have, right?
Yeah, unless they're getting more money, I don't think that this is a good idea. So it's all depending on
To me, this is a trendejo.
Okay. Trendejo.
Yes.
Trendejo.
We're for the servers. Okay. I have another trending one, okay? So, there's this new thing called the bone broth. It's caldo de res, sin the res, and the vegetables like my grandma used to make.
But hipsters are all for it.
Okay, what do they do? Just have soup?
I think you know a little bit more
It's
about
paleo diet.
Okay.
I wouldn't say hipsters. I would say that the world of fitness, and it's the bone marrow or the bone soup. We call it sopa de hueso, but it does have meat and corn and carrots.
Right.
But it's very, very healthy, and the nutrients in those, most specifically for people that are like anemic and hypoglycemic.
I think this is a white desabrido kind of trend.
Yeah.
I think it's trendejo. I prefer the vegetables.
I want to be skinny, so I'm going to say
I'm gonna say
trendissimo.
trendissimo.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. You want to be skinny? Okay, trendissimo.
Trendissimo. But you know what's interesting about that really quick is that, as you mentioned, that it is a sopa de la abuelita. My abuelita always makes sopa de caldo de res, which is the bone and everything. But before it became popular, I'm sure some people that had never heard of it would have gone, "Ooh,
Yeah, I
what
agree.
is that?" You
No,
know?
I don't know.
And so what my point is, every plate of all over the world should be given a chance before you give it the yuck.
No,
You know
I
what
gave
mean?
it the yuck. It's trendejo. Now we need to go and talk about the doggies.
Oh yeah, we have our Ernie G, our man on the street at the G Spot, talking to people about what do they think about this very interesting trending topic. Let's check it out.
People love treating their pets as good as or better than human beings. Why do you think this is?
Because animals don't judge.
It's a little bit eccentric.
So treating your pets better than human beings is trendejo.
Trendejo,
All right.
yes.
Some things maybe too far, like maybe walking with your pets in a stroller. That I've seen that happen. That's a bit much.
Is that trendejo or is that trendissimo?
Trendissimo. Yeah.
Trendissimo, right?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I would say between.
In between.
Oh, do you have a pet?
No, I don't. And if I did, I wouldn't treat them like that.
That's a little over the top, okay?
That's trendejo all the way to me.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't treat dogs better than humans. I think it's trendejo.
I know. I mean, some dogs are the only companion that some people have. And they're very therapeutic. So, for those people, I get it. I understand why they treat them like.
But
they're
the
little
dogs
kids.
are the ones that suffer, the animals. Like I see dogs in the grocery store always suffering and freezing in the cold aisle because those people don't want to be alone.
Yes.
Support dog, or
Yes.
they leave them in the cars because they don't want to leave them at home.
And next up on our Hollywood Spotlight, we have Edward James Olmos, who's already in the house. The legendary actor is going to talk to us about his role in the Blade Runner reboot, Blade Runner 2049. And he's also going to talk to us about being a series regular in the Sons of Anarchy spin-off, Mayans MC. But before, we're also going to see Jimmy Smith's very intimate interview with our very own Belle Hernandez. That and much more coming up after this short break.
You play John Donovan, okay? He is the senator, and he is running for president, yes?
Yes, when you on 24 Legacy, when you see us at the opening of the Springboard, which is the pilot of the episode, my character is in campaign mode for higher office. He's part of a kind of power couple. Him and his wife, Miranda Otto, who plays Rebecca Ingram, is kind of this political power couple, and she was the former director of a counterterrorism unit. So that's a springboard for our relationship on the show, and there's this terrorist action that happens that kind of derails my campaign on that particular day and forces her to kind of go back to her work as director of CTU.
I've been watching, and it's getting very intense. But what I notice about your family is the dynamic of your family. It's very mixed. It's sort of like a lot of families a lot of Latino families that are not usually shown on TV. Your father is Irish?
Right, Donovan? Yeah, yeah. And right, during the course of some of the episodes, you find out that there's an allusion to the moms, and that was stuff that was kind of like added in, actually.
Really?
Afterwards. But yeah, so it's a modern.
So the family element was added after the show started?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so like I said, I saw 3 episodes, and it was introduction of the first episode, but now things are getting really, really intense. And so I have a question about your character.
Okay.
Is your character innocent, or is he like the usual politician with guts, lots of intrigue and lots of secrets?
Well, I don't know about talking about politicians, but with regards to the way the show has always operated, none of the characters are what they really seem. So things will change, and the action of that particular day takes all of the characters into this kind of whirlwind. So yes, my character gets caught up in that.
Okay, now the Trend Talk show viewers want to know about your character. So let's say, okay, so does John Donovan tweet? And if so, what's his handle?
Senator Johnny D. And yeah, he probably does tweet.
Okay.
As opposed to Jimmy, who does not tweet.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that. But
No,
okay.
I'm like social media remedial.
Okay, one more question. No, a few more. Is John Donovan Republican or Democrat?
I'm not going to talk about that right now.
That's a secret. You're going to have to tune in. Okay.
Lose 43% of my audience.
Okay.
You figure it out.
Okay, Jimmy. Your father is Irish. Your mother is? John Donovan's mother.
John Donovan's mother is, well, he's from Texas, so they're probably from Mexico.
Mexican. Okay. And in what hour of the show, or what day of the show, because it takes 24 hours to do the show, right?
Yes.
In what day of the show does John Donovan become president of the United States of America?
Well, we just finished shooting the last episode, so I'm not sure if on this particular day he will actually, it's not voting. It's not voting day. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so you guys need to tune in because he might have a chance to do another role of the President of the United States. I want to thank Jimmy Smits for granting that interview. And didn't he look handsome? Well, don't forget to watch him on 24 Legacy on Mondays at 8 o'clock on Fox. And now we have the honor of having legendary actor Edward James Olmos here in studio with us, and we are so thrilled. Welcome, Edward.
Welcome.
Thank you, ladies. It's an honor and a privilege.
And you've had such a fulfilling career, and it all started many, many years ago when you had that amazing role of El Pachuco in Luis Valdez's Zoot Suit. You went on to be nominated for a Tony on Broadway. And let me talk to us a little bit about how that role influenced your career to this day.
It was actually an opportunity that hit not only my career, but everyone that touched that play, including the director, the writer, of course, with Luis Valdez, and everyone that produced it, all the actors, everybody that was in it, all got launched into the mainstream theater and to Broadway. And we went on to be able to perform for the very first time in the history of American theater, a Chicano play on Broadway.
Well, you're also making your way back to television very soon. One of my favorite shows has a spin-off, The Mayans MC, and you have a role on there. Tell us about that, because I'm excited.
I'm excited too. It's a very difficult subject matter. I need to say, if you saw Sons of Anarchy, then you really realize that it was a very compelling show, very dark, and but very honest to its own truth. And I hope that, I'm sure Kurt Sutter, who's doing this spin-off, will take the same kind of understanding and give it the kind of love and integrity that he gave Sons of Anarchy.
And I'm mad at you because I asked you 5 months ago, are you gonna do Blade Runner? Because I know Blade Runner is coming up, and it's gonna be released in October. And so I asked you, are you gonna be reprise your role of Gaff in Blade Runner 2049? And you said no. Like, no.
Now, I'm going to ask you real quick for the whole world to know, how did you find that out?
I read it in the trades
Guess
about
what?
a month ago.
Guess what? Okay. I signed a 7-page non-disclosure contract with those people. My agent did, my manager did, I did, everybody said I couldn't talk about it. So I couldn't talk to anybody about it.
I forgive you.
I know. But guess what? This is the first time that I am telling everybody and telling the world right now that yes, I am going to be Gaff in Blade Runner 2049.
because you know that movie, Blade Runner, is the only futuristic movie that I like. It's got such great thought about the script and the story. And tell us now how your character comes back, because he was like this stealth kind of guy, and he's coming back in the same role. How is he involved in the story?
Well, it's not about Gaff.
Of course.
But it's about someone who is going to try to find out certain things about us who were back then. They come to me. I'm now retired, and you'll get to see it. I don't want to ruin the picture for anybody, but the story. But just know that my role is like it was in the original. I only had 4 scenes. I think in this one I only have 1. And but it's, you know, again, poignant little piece of work that I'm very grateful.
You guys saw the first one, right?
Yeah. I saw it, but I don't remember. I saw it a long time ago.
Oh, 40 years ago. Over.
Right. Well, I was 3 years old when it came out. But I saw it when I was probably a teenager, so I'm going to be...
Not that old. Get
yes,
out
I am.
of here.
But I'm going to be so happy to see it again. And I especially like the cultural aspect and the, you know, they don't really touch upon race as much as we do now. I think it was so forward thinking, right, back then.
We're very lucky that that Ridley Scott is a very secure artist within himself, because I brought that to the piece. I brought the cultural dynamic to it. I spoke 10 languages. I was a mixture of different cultures, and it was really amazing that he allowed me to do it, because I never spoke in English. Really.
Wow. Well, you know, I've known Eddie for a while, and this year, because we met during Zoot Suit, but this year seems to be the year of the comebacks, because Zoot Suit is back at the Taper, and you created that El Pachuco role, and now Sons of Anarchy, well, it's a different one, but also Blade Runner. So this is your year, and probably gonna be knocking them out of the park.
And you are somebody who's always very active in the community. That's one thing that you and I share in common. So how is it that you live this life of activism as well as maintaining this very active Hollywood career?
You know, it depends on how you're brought up, really. My family, my great-grandparents are the people who raised me. And I got to tell you, they were very giving people, constantly helping. So it's kind of like that was the norm. And they lived by a very simple understanding: the more you give, the more you receive. So they were constantly giving, and people would just help like crazy. So they were constantly giving, and people were giving to them, and it was a really wonderful era. I was, born in 1947. I'm 70. I know I look young, but
yeah, you do.
And you look as young as you feel.
And the other thing is, though, don't be surprised if you see us on television soon as well.
If I get to do that with you, I'll be so happy.
Okay, now break the news. Hey. Did you sign a confidentiality?
Yes, I did. I had to.
Man.
Just know that it's a long time coming.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to work with Aida for a long time. All right.
And speaking of long time, I know that you and Belle have known each other for a very, very, very long time.
Not that long. She's, she was a baby.
That's right.
So, which brings me to our new segment. It's a game. Do you really know me? So I'm going to do a little quiz, and since you might work with Aida in another project, I'm going to see how well Aida knows you and how well Belle knows you, and see who wins. Okay. So I'm going to do a little quiz if Aaliyah comes and ask a few questions, and you guys are all going to have to write the answers on the board or on the paper.
Oh, how nice.
Okay.
Like the newlywed game.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, no cheating. Okay, my first question, you guys all have to write it down. No cheating. Okay. As a teenager, Edward James Olmos was in a band. Name the name of the band.
Oh,
no
man.
cheating, Belle. I saw you trying to whisper to... No. All right.
Okay.
Who knew Edward James Olmos was so multi-talented, right?
Oh, he can sing. He can dance. Well, he was a wonderful dancer.
Okay, great. So,
do we want to
turn them all around?
The hipsters.
Oh, that's a good name. I would have liked
The
that name.
hipsters.
I said La Fania All Stars because I know how much he loves Puerto Rico.
Oh.
I love Puerto Rico.
I
Okay,
know.
what is it, Eddie?
So what is it?
The Pacific
Ocean.
Ocean. All
Oh,
right.
We're the
Arrogant.
biggest thing on the West Coast.
I think it's time for a reboot of the Pacific Ocean. Seriously.
He said, ooh.
Please.
Okay. All right. So far, 0-0. Next question. How many times has Edward James Olmos been married? Huh. You guys all ready? Wow,
Yeah,
he's
go
taking
ahead.
a long time out there. It must
He's
be
counting all of
he's
them.
counting. All right, ready? Okay,
Me
turn them
first?
all around.
Me first? That's one by one.
No, I'll.
Okay.
2.
I say
Puerto
2.
Rico. I said, wait a minute, what? Miss
Okay.
Puerto Rico and Edie. Oh, 2. 2.
2?
Yeah, I thought it
Edward
was 3,
James?
but it was a
Edward
long-term
James?
relationship.
Oh no. It's still going.
No do-over.
2. Wow, you guys got it right.
No, you know what? Because one was a really long-term relationship, but it wasn't.
That's right.
marriage.
See that, but that's the thing is that
But it-
people think you've been married 4 times.
Yeah.
4?
Yeah, yeah.
Because to Latino.
Do you want me to go? No, we'll
Okay,
skip that.
last question. According to IMDb, which was the first speaking role that Edward James Olmos had on television? Extra credit if you can name the character's name. On what TV show? What TV show? Okay. According to IMDb, which was
IMDb, the very first one.
On television?
the very first speaking television role
Man, I could
for
have
Edward James Olmos.
cheated for this. I could have looked up your
know, all I had to do
IMDb.
is look up,
That's all I
you
had
know.
to do. Okay.
All right,
I
ready?
got my answer.
Okay. Is everyone ready?
The New Centurions.
The New Centurions?
Oh, that's cool.
Let's hopefully Edward James Olmos will answer correctly.
I can
because-
see his answers, but I like being wrong
guessing.
on this.
Okay, what's
Okay,
yours?
I said all my children.
No.
That's a good one. That was a good. Now I can't remember if it was Kojak or Policewoman.
Okay.
It was Kojak.
It was Kojak,
in
right?
the role of Paco.
Paco.
You
and this
lose.
I
This one.
lose.
this was in 1975. And I'm curious, was Paco, was that a good role, or did you play a stereotypical
No,
Latino?
I
or-
played the owner of a bar. It was a restaurant bar, and I was the owner, and I was.
Okay.
Kojak came in and talked to me.
I didn't know that one, but I've known, like you said, Eddie for a long time, and Eddie just celebrated a birthday, and all that time I've known you, I have never celebrated a birthday with you. So we decided to celebrate your birthday. So let's get our cake come in, and let's start singing Happy Birthday to you.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday to you. Turn it around. Happy birthday, dear Eddie. Happy birthday to you. Blow the candle out.
I got it, man. What a beautiful cake.
Yeah, you can share with us or just take it home.
No, I'm taking it home. Thank you.
Well, that was fun. Now, coming up, Alitzah Wiener. She's going to tell us all about her organization that helps young performers in Hollywood. So don't go away.
Like cookies and sprinkles.
Taking everybody like us, 'cause we the original. So get them hands up, everybody clap. I'm pulling up with my crew. We got them speakers that bump. You know what we came to do is get this party to jump. My swag is funky and cool as we don't ever stop. Take it to the top. My fabulous hairdo, you know it's starting to hot. I'm rocking these tutus, my fashion's over the top. I'm blowing up like balloons.
Welcome back to the Trend Talk. Now sitting with me is Alitzah Wiener. She went from child actress to pop star to producer. And now through her nonprofit, the Young Entertainers Award Foundation, she helps young people in Hollywood navigate the industry. Welcome, Alitzah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, wonderful to have you. And I wanted to also start with you as a young child actress. You grew up in Hacienda Heights.
Yep.
And your family is in entertainment. And then you take it from there.
Okay, so I I started, my parents are teachers. They had no idea about the industry. And I was the little kid that listened to Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli. And I wanted to do this so bad. So I started around 5 years old. And I started singing and dancing and doing a lot of musical theater. And that transitioned into commercials and TV. So from doing a lot of theater, I found my agent. And then that's when we started driving every day to Hollywood for auditions. And I did a lot of stuff as a child actor. I was on the very first Spanish comedy series called Sanchez of Bel-Air on the USA Network. I was Gina Sanchez, and that was wonderful. It was way before its time. It was it lasted about a season, a little over a season, and reoccurred on stuff like My Two Dads and Blossom and Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
And you have company in your family because your sisters are also actresses.
They are. So once I started, I'm the oldest, and then everybody else kind of joined after. So like my brother, who continues to be in the industry, he's actually the voice of Spider-Man and the Green Lantern, and on the new Voltron show on Netflix. So he does all kinds of games and stuff as the voices. And then my sisters, Sabrina and Danielle. And they were both actresses and did a lot of indie films. And my sister Sabrina actually was in that movie with America Ferrara, Si Se Puede, on the Disney Channel.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so we all like did stuff, and now we're still in the entertainment industry, but just in different aspects of the entertainment industry.
But you've used your singing and your producing and your acting abilities to create a new web series called Twinkle Time.
I have.
Tell us why you did that and what it is and what it's about.
Okay, so I was in a girl band prior that was signed to Hollywood Records for many years, and we opened up for Britney and Backstreet. And then when that ended and we got dropped from our record label, I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? So I started teaching, and I started teaching kids singing, dancing, and acting, and fell in love with it. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to do something inspirational and educational for children, but using all the elements that I love doing, which is singing, dancing, and acting, and teach positive messages through song and dance. And because I am Latina, I do everything bilingual.
And now you travel around the country. You're going to go to Texas.
We're going to be in Texas for 10 days. We travel around the country. We have CDs. We have a web series on YouTube. And so definitely check out our website because we're all over the place.
And what was the name of the singing group you were with?
Nobody's Angel.
Nobody's Angel. And it was around for a few years.
For a while. We got a gold record for some stuff on the Princess Diaries soundtrack. And we opened up for Britney and Backstreet.
You're a major. But now tell me about this organization, the Young Entertainers Award Foundation, and why you felt you had to put an organization together to help kids in the entertainment industry.
Well, obviously my whole family, my brother and my sisters, we grew up doing this. My parents were super supportive. So my parents actually are the founders. They wanted to give back to the community. And so we hold this annual gala, and this is our second annual award show that's taking place Sunday, March 19th at the Globe Theater inside Universal Studios, and it's to honor and celebrate all young entertainers of all aspects of the industry. So it's kind of like a mini Oscars, mini Golden Globes for the kids in the industry.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, and actually, Naive is going to be one of our hosts.
Oh, wow. There's a Trend Talk connection there.
Exactly.
And your sister's part of this organization.
My sister, Danielle. So we're all a part of it, whether they're on the board, but my sister and I are super hands-on. My sister Danielle and I are producing it. So it is so much work, but we've been super fortunate. We have wonderful guests that are going to be hosting and performing. We have Pepe Aguilar's kids that are,
I love Pepe Aguilar.
Well,
and
Leonardo
they
and
sing
Angela.
Too.
I know, they're going to be receiving an award, and they're going to be performing, and we have Courtney Friel from KTLA, and Rico Suave, Gerardo's hosting.
So how can someone get tickets for this event?
Okay, go to youngentertainerawards.org, and all the information is on the website.
Thank you so much for being here.
you.
And I'm probably going to tag along with Naive because this
Oh,
sounds
that'd be
amazing.
wonderful. Yeah, thank you so
Thanks
much.
for coming.
Mwah.
Oh my God, that was my first kiss on the Trend Talk. But platonic. Okay,
Yes,
friendship.
Trendísimo.
Now don't go away because coming up is Jose Vargas Ulloa, our cyber tech guy.
I'm so happy because, you know, some people like chocolate, some people like champagne. I love gadgets, and we're here with the Latino cyber guy, Jose Vargas Ulloa, who's going to talk to us about all that's trending in technology.
From the fashion runway to the tech table. This is what we got coming in the next 12 months. So get ready, people. The trend is changing your life.
Okay, so talk to me about the first trend we're going to review here.
We're talking about drones, and these are some of the drones that DJI has put out, and these are old school drones as compared to the new ones. I put this in your purse, and then you can easily pull it out, unfold it, and it's ready to go.
I can't believe there's already old school drones. Technology just advances so fast.
Well, the great thing about this, it has the latest in technology. It allows you to walk inside a building and go outside of a building, and it follows you. Can you imagine that?
Oh, wow. Can I spy on my neighbors with this?
Well, you're going to need a license to register your drone first, and then that way you have to follow some types of regulations. But the technology is changing so fast, but you can actually get your pizza in the next year or so delivered by a drone. Or if at the beach, the next shark warnings are going to be done by these type of machines, and that's made by DJI.
So it's useful, the shark warning.
Very practical.
All right, so what's the next gadget?
So looking at the Sony RX100. So I'm going to just power this on for you, and I'm going to turn it around. Here we go.
So
And
you were telling me earlier that this is like a selfie camera?
yeah, because most cameras you have to try to figure out with your hand
or
and
with
your
the
phone.
selfie stick, and this you don't need a selfie
No,
stick.
because the viewfinder allows you to adjust for if you have it low or even if you have it high.
Okay, let's take a quick selfie. How do you do
So
it? Like
then
that?
flip it that way.
Okay.
Then you take the picture.
Let's take a picture here.
Take a picture there. You push the button.
Woo!
And there we go.
Ooh, Aida gave a good photo bomb there.
So that's how easy it is. The Sony RX7, the selfie camera that allows you to shoot in 4K video also. That's really cool about that. When was the last time, Aida, you were in court in front of a judge and said not guilty?
Wednesday.
Say no more. Well, Magellan has the dash cam. Basically, this goes on your window of your car shield and allows you, once again, to have video reference. So when you go in front of a court, you can say the red light was not a red light, it was a yellow light, or else the car cut across, because all government officials have cameras now. Can you imagine that? Hold on to that.
So this is permissible in court?
Yes, Chris, that is video that's permissible in court, because now you can't use their video, because it's very hard to get government video from any official, but this allows you to now have proof of that you're innocent. So Wednesday, tell the court, I got the video, and you're off. Dash cam by Magellan, you can't beat it.
I want one of these.
Now, the other thing is that we're talking about, there's machines that really drive you crazy, and particularly when it comes to coffee machines, there's 100 of them. And depending on the cups that you have to buy like 5 different machines. Gourmia is one of the machines made by Italians. You can see they have a very sexy looking machine.
It is very
It's very,
pretty.
very, very pretty. But it also allows you to use all your different cups that require when you're using coffee, because in the morning, it's one of those things and issues that people have in the morning, bad attitude because they haven't had a coffee yet. So all you have to do is, whatever cup it may be, put it in there, and the espresso and those things that, like I said, that you enjoy in the morning, from even iced tea, it can do it for you. So enjoy your morning, have a great attitude, because technology can change it for you.
And this is available now?
That is available for you now. And
Does it make breakfast?
And that's well, it doesn't make breakfast, but it does a good espresso. So if you enjoy espressos in the morning, it may not be like your barista where you give them the old, all the delicacies about it, but it does do a good job of getting your attitude, perfect for the day.
Great. Wow. And now it's my turn?
Yes.
What is this?
Well,
Of course,
you
we
have
all
the
know what
fun.
this is.
You have the fun because this is what's going to change our lives immediately. You'll see them at every store now, from the Costco's down to the Best Buys to all the other companies. It's a Samsung VR glass. Nice. It's using your phone to goggles, and basically what it does is allows you to view things in 360. There's 2 types of these glasses. There's passive and there's active. That means, like you were saying earlier, you can watch a movie in 360 and be passive and just chill on your couch. Yep. Or you can actually do the active, where you have the devices with you and you're skiing. You're either jumping off a cliff,
or
I can ski with this.
Comedy.
I did a stand-up
I did a stand-up comedy show in virtual reality.
Did you put it on?
Yeah, I put them on, and I performed for people all over the world. And it was weird because it felt like they were charging at me, or these robots. Everybody was dressed how they wanted to dress, and it was really fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
okay, this
virtual reality is changing our lives, so get used to it. The pinball arcades that used to be in the malls are all converting to these. So there are going to be places to go where you can use the technology if you don't want to buy it, and just go stay there for an hour, 2 hours.
You can have your own pinball machine at home.
Yeah, and enjoy it. And there's passive, once again, for people who just like to chill.
Right.
And the great thing is, with 360 cameras nowadays, you can make your own videos of walking through the jungle, or do the running hike, and then pass it along to your friends so they can see what you're actually doing.
These are all fantastic. And I hear, rumor has it, that we, the Trend Talk, courtesy of the Cyber Guy, is going to have one of these be given to one of our viewers.
That's right.
How's
So,
that gonna work?
which one is it? Tell me which one.
We're going to do, for all those people who are guilty, that's right.
Oh, the dash cam.
We're going to do the dash cam for you. That's made by Magellan.
Okay, so the dash cam, guys. If you want to get one of these, go to our Facebook, The Trend Talk, and put your name in and say, I want to enter the contest. Okay, but you have to watch our video and we'll know if you're watching. Okay?
That's how easy it is.
All right, so thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Jose, the Latino Cyber Guy.
That's it,
Always
LCG.
rescue.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
And next up, we have an amazing guest. She's a philanthropist, she's a wrestler, and she's a bully buster. Keta Meggett is going to show us how to do self-defense, because you never know when you're going to need it. That's coming up.
Keta Meggett. I am the Pretty Flower. I'm training out of Team Victory Muay Thai in Inglewood, California. So typically, I guess people would train in, a sport, and then maybe a couple years later or whatever, start to compete. But I started training in late September in Muay Thai and fell in love with it all over again. And my coach was like, would you be interested in fighting? And I was like, well, yeah, if I'm good enough, if you say. And he said, you're good enough. And I was like, I was snap.
Welcome back to the Trend Talk Show, and I'm so excited for our next guest. She is an actress, she is a fighter, she is a martial artist, and she's an advocate for anti-bullying. She even started her own organization, Team Bully Buster. Welcome to the Trend Talk, Keta Meggett.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So we hear that you have a story that drove you to your anti-bullying path. Can you share that story with us?
Yeah, sure. Long story short, I'm biracial. I'm Black and Guatemalan, and my first year in high school, I got bullied for being biracial. And it ended up with me getting beat up really, really bad and in the hospital for a week with a broken jaw, broken shoulder, 4 broken ribs. My organs were messed up. And needless to say, I suffered a lot of PTSD for the rest of my school years and college. And until about 5 years ago, I was cast on a TV show called Wow Superheroes as a pro wrestler. And it was very therapeutic. It just started to work on the things that counseling and therapy hadn't been able to tap into. And then I kind of just took it and ran with it. I mean, at that point, I was pro wrestling.
That's when you started your martial arts?
Yeah.
Wow, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that your character in WoW is a bully buster.
Is the bully buster, yeah.
That's what your
I had a lot to
character
do with that.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah, I pitched it to the producers, and they loved it. So I'm really happy that I actually get to be the superhero that I really am in real life.
So what martial arts are the kids gravitating towards, and how do you identify the kids that need help?
Well, with our organization, Team Bully Buster, we travel around to schools all over the nation and show them, how to deal with bullying, and then if worse comes to worse, how to defend yourself. I personally believe jiu-jitsu is the best self-defense for bullying and for the smaller person, which is usually women or kids. So that's learning how to fight off of the ground when you're already on the ground, because typically fights don't just stay right here.
Right.
What do you do when you're down there? And that's what jiu-jitsu tells you and shows you and teaches you. So that became something just close to my heart and something I ran with. And
how do you identify the kids to be in this program?
They reach out to us. We are also a liaison between the schools and the students who are getting bullied, or their parents will reach out and sign up for our classes or for our summer camps.
And what I love about your organization is that every year you attract celebrities to kind of inspire the kids. Talk to us about everything that goes on at that camp.
Okay, so we have Camp Bully Proof, which is an annual summer camp, and it's amazing. Literally everyone comes, from Disney, Nickelodeon, musicians, singers, whoever. They all come. NBA players. We've got the Lakers that are one of our partners. Starbucks. We've got great people behind us, and it's an intensive day of learning how to love yourself, stand up for yourself, how to represent who you are and celebrate your differences. And then if worse comes to worse, what do you do if someone pushes you, if they grab you, if they choke you?
So is there a cutoff age? Because I was bullied too, you know, and I think I need to go to this.
There actually is no cutoff age. There were so many of the moms that were interested in what other children were learning that I then started teaching women self-defense. So yeah, it is ageless, absolutely.
Okay, so you could teach us some.
Absolutely, I planned on it.
But before that, I just want to congratulate you. You won a very, very important fight. Can you talk to us about it?
You want to fight as a wrestler?
No, a real fight.
What? Oh, okay. Tell us about that.
I just won last week. WCK's. It's a promotion, a Muay Thai promotion, and I won my first fight. It was a unanimous decision, and it was pretty amazing. It was cool because I was able to face everything that I had ever feared in my life. Like I was there to fight. And that's exactly what I did. And it was awesome.
Congratulations.
You went from being a victim of a fight to winning a fight.
To being a champion.
The clean way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're not ever probably going to be as talented as you in Muay Thai, but can you teach us, like Belle said, some self-defense moves?
For sure, absolutely.
We're in a dark alley and you know, something ominous starts heading our way.
I think one of the most important, simplest things that every woman should know and every person should know is what to do if someone grabs you. I mean, how often are you guys, even if you're at a restaurant or a bar and someone's just like, hey,
well, why don't you go here so we could kind of follow you from the back?
Okay.
So go right here.
Okay, so I guess we'll pretend that I'm the victim or the...
Well, first I'll be the, you'll be the victim and I'll be the aggressor. Okay. So if someone just grabs you like this, what would you naturally do?
I would pull back.
Right. And how far could you get?
Not too far because you're very strong.
So what you would do is grab me now. My wrist. Oh, that's where someone would grab you.
So now I'm the aggressor.
You're the perpetrator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Keta.
So what you would do is you first do a base so that you can't pull me. Try pulling me. You can't now. Right?
And when you say base, what does that mean?
You drop your body weight, just like a 2-year-old. Like if you go to pick up a kid, what's the first thing they do? They drop, right? So it's the same thing. If someone ever tries to grab you, you want to drop. And the move is a wrist break. So you're going to drive your elbow up towards their face, like an upside down rainbow. And then obviously if it's a guy and you don't like him, you can then throw an elbow.
And it doesn't matter like how strong you are?
It could be it could be a 260-pound huge buff guy. It won't even matter. Like he cannot hold your hand, your wrist. So I'm going to do it to you. Okay. And no, don't. Oh, you don't want to grab me back. You want to make a fist.
Right. You're grabbing me and I'm the victim?
Yes.
Okay. So then I go like
Perfect.
that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a straight shot up. Like
straight, and you want to like, it's like a crescent.
Lean in a little bit.
And you want to make sure your energy's going forward. That way it's like.
All right, cool.
So again.
Let's try again.
Perfect, yeah. Yes.
Awesome.
Let me try with you. You guys want to try?
Oh, I'll try.
Okay, so first, grab me.
This one.
So you can see how it feels.
Okay.
Grab it hard.
Okay.
Okay, so now your turn. Don't grab me back.
Okay.
You don't want to grab him.
Okay, then go down and up.
Nope. So you're going to drive your elbow towards my face, and instead of pulling away, because that's just securing what's happening, you want to drive your energy towards him.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
towards me, elbow up. Yes.
I
got
it.
Good job.
All right,
you want to try?
I'm taking this to the comedy club tonight. I'm so tired of people grabbing me by my hand.
So I'm going to grab you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, grab me first, just so you can feel what it's going to feel like.
Yeah, that's a strong wrist there.
It just manipulates your arms. See how it's like moving and it's awkward and you can't hold it.
You with 2 hands?
If you grab me with 2 hands, I'm using 2 hands. Grab me.
Okay.
Yeah. Boom. Nothing.
I'm always trying to switch it up.
So let me do it to you.
Okay.
So you're going to make a fist. You always want to keep your wrist strong.
Okay.
And you want to drive your elbow towards my face upward.
Okay. So.
Yeah. But also see your stance, how you're like this. It's really easy to push you off, right?
Right.
So you always want to make sure you've got a base. One
So
leg in front of the other and a little, like if someone's, if you feel threatened, automatically just make sure you're based.
Right, so I can run away.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Perfect.
Oh,
yeah. So you guys want to try the 2 hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. So then I go like
You make a fist and you grab your own wrist over.
Oh, over.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great job.
Yeah, do that. Okay. Like that, and then grab.
Yep. And drive that elbow towards my face. So more towards me instead
I'm
of
the one
yanking.
that's flunking. Okay.
There you go. Yes.
Great
job,
I was
ladies.
good on the second one.
Yes. That's a very, very important wrist break, and I feel like everyone should know it. I mean.
Yeah, it's like the basic.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh. Your turn, Aida.
No, she
Oh, you already did the double. Okay, awesome.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you. What you know another move? Like if somebody grabs you from the back.
Yes. Who wants to grab me from the back?
Oh, I'm bad
go
at
for
this.
it,
You
Belle.
grab her
Oh.
from the back.
Okay.
Okay.
But
So
be nice, please.
I'll be super nice.
Okay.
So if you were grabbing me like this, right?
Right.
Well, grab your own wrist.
Okay.
There you go. So immediately as the victim, I'm going to look down and see which arm is on the outside. So being that this is on the outside, I want to do 2 on 1. So this is automatically going to go, and I'm going to pull it away.
I can already feel my wrist kind of twisting a
Yeah.
little bit, so that's good.
2 on 1 always wins.
Awesome. Woo! I love those serious moves. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Keta.
you're welcome.
I feel so empowered and powerful.
As you should.
Awesome. So where can people find you on social media and about your camp as well?
For everything Team Bully Buster, you guys can go to teambullybuster.org. And personally, if you want to keep up with me, I'm the Pretty Flower on everything social media.
Awesome, and congrats on those 2 new shows.
Thank
Plug
you.
them real quick.
Thank you. I just booked a new show on HBO called Room 104 and a new show on ABC Freeform that's untitled, but you'll see me soon.
Awesome. I also want to thank Jose Vargas Ulloa, the cyber guy, for all those cool gadgets, and of course Alitzah Wiener when she came to talk about all that wonderful stuff with her children's organization.
And also, I would like to thank Edward James Olmos and Jimmy Smits. Woohoo! Got to interview them. And also, we want to thank Aida, who was a terrific co-host. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And also, we want to know where we can find you on social media and where you're going to be performing next.
Well, you can find me at Funny Aida, and you can find me on Showtime in coming weeks. I am the first Latina ever to be on the Shaq All-Star Comedy Jam, so make sure you check it out.
Right. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
So much inspiration in this room. And I also want to give a shout out to another inspiration, Marimar Quiroa. She goes by the name of makeup artist Gorda 66. She was born with a disability. She can't speak, but she speaks with using her hands, and her makeup tutorials have thousands and thousands of followers. Thank you for being a trendsetter and an inspiration.
And remember to follow us on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at The Trend Talk Show. Tell us what you liked about the show. Give us your feedback. And remember, tell us what's trending in your world. Because if it's trending, we're talking!